The lies, the propaganda, the misinformation from the mainstream media is about to ramp up and get a whole lot worse. The reason being is as we step into a world where money has no boundaries, Bitcoin isn't just a currency. It's a revolution that tackles traditional finance's toughest problems head on. So are you ready to discover the future of finance? Join the Bitcoin movement below. And you can see Bitcoin is private, Bitcoin is free, Bitcoin is inclusive, Bitcoin is borderless, Bitcoin is digital gold, Bitcoin is trustless, Bitcoin is better money, Bitcoin is an inflation resistance, Bitcoin is for everyone. Due to those facts, and because the fiat money system is going to a massive debt spiral, they're going to attack Bitcoin harder and harder and harder, and we've seen that over the last couple of weeks. So to be able to push back against the FUD, and when I talk about FUD, this nonsense here, we've take a listen first.
Something where Mr. Bitcoin is about to go down big. I would not touch crypto in a million years. These people who own these things should not own them. They shouldn't own them. I do think you're an idiot. Okay?
So obviously Jim Cramer should not be on TV spreading the lies, the misinformation, but obviously his puppet masters are pushing him to do that. If Jim does not own Bitcoin, surely his wife or his partner has a big stash of it. He's not that silly. He's just an entertainer. He's doing his job. But to be able to fight the FUD's fear, uncertainty, and doubt, there's a couple of things we want to be aware of. Jamie Dimon, I think this is one of the most pivotal moments within Bitcoin's history. 5 years ago, this is what Jamie Dimon had to say about Bitcoin. And I'll go into what he says here is negative, but I'll show you why this is so positive now where we are.
Bitcoin hit a new high today.
I could care less what Bitcoin trades for, how it trades, why it trades, who trades it. If you're stupid enough to buy it, you'll pay the price for it one day. I've also told people that it can trade at 100.
What I love about it, you'll pay the price one day. Everybody gets Bitcoin at the price they deserve. Obviously, JP Morgan's Jamie Dimon has messed this up catastrophically for them, and now they're playing catch up there, and that's another reason why the propaganda machine is going to ramp up more and more, because the big corporations didn't do so well, and the BlackRock ETF now is just a matter of time, not if, but when.
$1,000 before it trades to zero. So tulip bulbs traded for $75,000 once, something like that. The only value of a Bitcoin is what the other guy will pay for it. And I think, honestly, I think there's a good chance that Bitcoin, a lot of the buyers out there are up there.
So in regards to that, the only value is what someone else would pay for it. That's with most things in life, ladies and gentlemen. But the thing that makes Bitcoin so special is there's no trusted intermediary in the middle. Nobody can stop you sending value to me sending value to you. You can send value anywhere in the world to anyone in the world as long as they have an internet connection or someone in that village has an internet connection. So it's the first time where we've got free, permissionless money. That's absolutely massive. So that's the FUD side of things. Let's dive into why Bitcoin is so bullish. And when you hear these FUD arguments, there's no need to worry, because this is what Paul Tudor Jones has to say.
I said I wanted to talk about Robinhood, but I also just looked on the screen behind you and I saw the price of Bitcoin. And I know every time we've spoken, you've had a take on Bitcoin. Do you have a new take? Still holding?
I think now the barbarous relics, and I would lump gold and Bitcoin together. I think they probably take on a larger percentage of your portfolio than historically they would, because we're going to go through both a challenging political time here in the United States, and we're going to go through, we've obviously got a geopolitical situation. So I would say...
But high interest rates were supposed to be the thing that was actually going to be unhelpful to Bitcoin.
Well, and I think on a relative basis, look what's happened to gold. It actually has been. Clearly, it suppressed it. So you know that more likely than not, we're going to go into recession. There's some pretty clear-cut recession trades. The easiest are the yield curve gets really steep, term premium goes into the back ends of debt markets, right, into 30-year and 10-year and 7-year paper. The stock market typically right before a recession declines about 12%. That's probably going to happen at some point from some level.
So he's warning everybody, and Bitcoin and gold together are going to be a hedge for everyone. And then obviously we have Joe Rogan. We played this video the other day, but this is so bullish. The world's biggest podcaster. When Joe Rogan talks, people listen. And with what he had to say in regards to his conversation with the creator of ChatGPT, who will play that video as well. That's very bullish.
I mean, the real fascinating crypto is Bitcoin. To me, I mean, that's the one that I think has the most likely possibility of becoming a universal viable currency. And it's, you know, it's limited in the amount that there can be. It's, you know, people mine it with their own computer. It's like, that to me is very fascinating. And I love the fact that it's been implemented.
For Joe Rogan to be saying that, that is absolutely massive. We've got the video here as well. When he was talking to Sam Altman, this was his response after Joe Rogan said that. And the reason why I'm going through here is so you can tune back into this video if you are starting to feel the FUD that is going to ramp up, going to get worse and worse and worse. There is so much bullishness happening in this space. Sometimes it is nice to be reminded that the trend is your friend over a long enough time frame. Everyone ends up in profits. This will change your life. Just need to understand it, chill, and enjoy. Listen to what Sam has to say.
I'm excited about it for the same reasons. I'm excited about Bitcoin too. But I think this idea that we have a global currency that is outside of the control of any government is a super logical and important step on the tech tree.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, why should the government control currency? I mean, the government should be dealing with all the pressing environmental, social infrastructure.
When people first heard that podcast, obviously Bitcoin Twitter went absolutely wild. But why should the government have a control, a monopoly on money? For the Joe Rogan experience to be saying that, that is absolutely massive. Now, going to somewhere else within the world, this is something that is interesting. I'm not sure whether it's good or bad. Here, having no income tax is potentially positive for Bitcoin adoption. Here, people have more money to be able to spend into the world's hardest asset.
Early users it was heavily used for, let's say, illicit activities. And I think as it became more accessible.
So we'll come back to this video. The video that I was referring to here is over here in regards to zero income tax.
They say two things are always certain, death and taxes. Well, not anymore in Argentina. And before you freak out, no, they've not discovered the secret to immortality. They have done away with taxes. That's right. Argentina's Senate has passed a new bill. It seeks to abolish income tax. Not for everyone, not for all workers, but for most of them. Around 1.3 million workers in the formal sector will benefit. No taxes for them. Only a tiny fraction will keep paying income tax. Those who earn more than $5,000 per month, they will have to pay an income tax. That's around 1.7 million pesos.
This lady goes on to say that's only about 1% of the population, I believe, that's going to have to continue paying income tax. Abolishing the income tax does give people more discretionary income. Obviously, they're going through hyperinflation, so that discretionary income's not going to last very long, but while they have it, they've got more of a chance to be able to opt out into the system and get into Bitcoin as well. So I think that's potentially very, very bullish for worldwide global adoption, because as we see these stories over a long enough time frame that Bitcoin actually is fixing inflation, that it is a store of value. All fiat currencies mathematically are certain to go down and go to zero. It's just on what time frame. But if we see in real time that people are saving their purchasing power within Bitcoin, that is going to allow greater conversations, more information, education, and facts in regards to it. So we'll finish that video of Larry Fink that I brought up just before.
And also, I do believe the role of crypto is it's digitizing gold in many ways. Instead of investing in gold as a hedge against inflation, a hedge against
digitizing gold, instead of using gold to hedge against inflation, you can use Bitcoin. And the greatest thing about Bitcoin is as we come into the halving, April 24, 25, 2024, once that happens, the inflation rate is half that of gold. That is absolutely so bullish. If they're already putting this narrative out now, that marketing is really going to ramp up. And especially considering what position the US will be in at that stage.
The onerous problems of any one country or the devaluation of your currency, whatever country you're in. Let's be clear, Bitcoin is an international asset. It's not.
Bitcoin is an international asset. This is Larry Fink. This is absolutely incredible. And we couldn't have even imagined this 3 years ago. We were hoping this would be the case, that institutions were coming. Whether we want them in the space or not, that's beside the point. They're coming. They're basically here now. And price-wise, it's going to be very beneficial for the space. But even the wording around it will wake people up, and they will start now because, which is crazy, but because BlackRock are in there, along with Fidelity, everybody else, they'll start trusting Bitcoin more and more and more. And some people will go from the ETF to full self-custody and ownership as well. So we'll finish the rest of this video. It's just an incredibly bullish bit.
Not based on any one currency. And so it can represent an asset that people can play as an alternative. I would call the foundation of BlackRock is about hope. You invest for retirement because you believe tomorrow is better than today.
Right, but hasn't the technology sort of diverged from the value of the digital coins? I mean, I don't know a lot of people who use the blockchain. That's the Bitcoin technology to transact. I know a lot of people who hold Bitcoin. You don't hold Bitcoin, right?
I don't own anything other than mutual funds and
BlackRock,
BlackRock shares.
Okay, but
quite interesting there. It doesn't know anyone that uses Bitcoin. Obviously, for myself, I am spending Bitcoin on Lightning more and more with the wallet of Satoshi, just to be able to counteract that FUD. But it depends where you are in the world. If you're in El Salvador or Argentina or a Bitcoin jungle, people are using the blockchain or Lightning. And that's fine. So that's a whole load of codswallop there. Couple more things that we want to dive into. This guy, 2013, just what an amazing interview this gentleman put out.
As for those first 2 points, as to it being destructible and rare, I guess I don't know if I agree with that. I mean, gold is only
1st of April 2013. I wonder if they had him on to take the piss and April Fool's Day.
As for those first 2 points, as to it being destructible and rare, I guess I don't know if I agree with that. I mean, gold is only rare because it's physically scarce, but Bitcoin is rare because it counts on the scarcity of CPU time. And so, likewise, as to destructibility, I think that's also sort of in question.
What are the chances of someone coming up with a counterfeit Bitcoin, and they present that to an end user, and they're accepting this phony Bitcoin?
I guess the chances would be astronomically low, and that's the whole design. I mean, the way that you create a Bitcoin is that you basically have to find a larger, rare number, bigger than any of the other Bitcoin out there. And so every Bitcoin, the next Bitcoin is even harder to create. And so I'd say right now it requires vast amounts of CPUs, generally through Amazon Cloud and things like this, to create the next Bitcoin. So it'd be exceedingly impossible or exceedingly difficult to create a counterfeit Bitcoin.
So hacking Bitcoin could be a problem, but what about someone coming up with a counterfeit that end users don't recognize as being counterfeit, and that eroding the purchasing power of all existing Bitcoin?
You guys, I guess one of my concerns here too is that, there's a lot of stories about drug dealers using these kind of things, and I think it's just a matter of it's not regulated, it's not controlled.
The whole Bitcoin market is about $1 billion.
How interesting is it, that narrative that was perpetuated in regards to obviously around the time of Silk Road, drug dealers using it. We are going to hear those same arguments come up, but for someone to be able to articulately defend Bitcoin so well back in 2013, absolutely fantastic. And now we have Larry Fink, people like Michael Saylor from MicroStrategy jumping in there, very high net worth individuals. Tesla's Elon Musk is going to, through the next cycle, say we accept it, we won't accept it. That's my predictions with that happening. Jim Cramer, will be interesting to see if he stays bearish the whole cycle. It's going to be a lot of fun. Anyway, we'll see you on the next video. Enjoy this as it pops up. Be blessed. Peace.